Hey YouTube, welcome back to the NFL football season preview. So we're going to round out the NFC South by talking about the last place team from a season ago in the NFC South, which was the New Orleans Saints. Now I have a line there at the bottom, and it's a question that does not need an answer, but something to think about. Is this a bag over the head year upcoming? When I say bag over the head, this is what fans do when they are not happy with what they're seeing on the field, so they end up playing bags with holes cut on there in the eyeballs just to display their displeasure for what is going on. I see a horrible, god awful outlook for this team, and I'm going to discuss this in the near future. But this season rivals just as bad as the 0-16 Cleveland Browns from 2017. I mean, this looks just as bad as that. So let's go ahead and delve into why I think this is. So we look at the team. It's going to be, of course, Kellen Moore in his first season, the ex Dallas coordinator there and Philadelphia coordinator, at least on the offensive side of the football. But the bombshell news that recently just came out was that Derek Carr will be retiring after 11 seasons and 0 playoff wins. So now we've got a quarterback controversy just written all over. We've got Tyler Shaw, the rookie out of Louisville. We've got Spencer Rattler in his second season out of South Carolina. Excuse me, he was at Oklahoma, but he went to South Carolina. And then you got Jake Haener there in his third season, and he's not seeing a lot of playing time. The one constant in New Orleans is going to be Alvin Kamara. He'll be starting his 14th season there in New Orleans. They've got some good pieces there in the skill positions, at least the wide receiver with Chris Olave, Shaheed, and Brandon Cooks. And then you got Juwan Johnson there at the tight end position, along with Taysom Hill, the hybrid player that you can see all over the place, along with Foster Moreau, formerly of the Las Vegas Raiders. On the defense side of the ball, Cam Jordan, a constant, just like Kamara is. Also got um, Demario Davis, and they've got Chase Young there still, Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama. They got Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger there that I mispronounced there at the bottom. And then they also have Justin Reed there to round it out. 417, 480, and 5 ties is the all-time record for the New Orleans Saints. That's a 46.5% win percentage. They are deadlocked, as I described in Atlanta. They have 56 and 56 all-time against the Atlanta Falcons, which is exactly a 500 record. And they do have winning records against the Carolina Panthers, up by 3 games in that series, and a 13-game series lead against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, their success in the division is going to go down significantly because this team is just not good. I know this looks bleak, but a season ago they went 5-12. Over under the season is 5.5 wins. It was, I believe, at 7.5 until Derek Carr retired. Then they dropped that down 2 whole games. I think this team it's going to look bad. I mean, it's really going to look bad. They have no clue who the quarterback is. The offensive identity of this team is just who knows what it is. I can't say it's going to be Alvin Kamara because Alvin Kamara is injured half the time, and I just don't know what this team's going to look like. And then we look at the teams on their schedule. Oh dear God, you're going to take on an Arizona Cardinal team in Week 1 that I think is poised to have a big uprising, I should say, for lack of a better word. Going to take on a San Francisco team that's going to have all their pieces back. You're at Seattle, which has not been a kind of place. Then you got to take on Buffalo at their place. Good luck. I think the Giants is a toss-up game to me. I just think the Giants have got better pieces, in my opinion. So you see here, I do not have them winning a single game until Week 10 at Carolina. I just think it's literally going to look that bad. I mean, I know I'm usually not that too critical of people, but like this team, it's going to be a crapshoot put together. Kellen Moore has pretty much walked into his nightmare scenario where there's no clear quarterback, no clear offensive identity with his team, and he's going to have to mold it all together, and it's very hard to do in your first season with people that have been there for a very long time. And correct me, I did say Alvin Kamara was in his 14th season. I'm wrong. He'll be in his 9th season, as I just looked on CBS Sports. I do having winning at Carolina the first game. They'll have a bye week in Week 11. They'll win against Atlanta in Week 12. There are 3 wins. There are 3 wins. That's what I'm projecting. 3-14 for this team. Will all be in the division. They'll have a sweep of the Carolina Panthers. They'll win 1 game against Atlanta. Everything else, they're going to lose. I think it's going to be trash. I think it's going to be literally hot garbage. I would not want to watch this team in my personal opinion, but I just think there's not much to look forward to. This could easily turn into a catastrophe in year one for Kellen Moore. So say a prayer, but I just think the New Orleans Saints are going to be one of the worst. It's guaranteed at least a top 5 draft pick in next year's draft, but I have them going 3-14 with all 3 of those wins coming in the division. Alright, so this wraps up the NFC South, which is one of 4 divisions in the NFC side of the conference. So, just like we did on the AFC side, we're going to move on in the next division to arguably from one of the worst to one of the best put together divisions from a season ago, and that will be the NFC North, featuring the Detroit Lions, the Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay Packers, and rounded by the Chicago Bears. So until then, we're going to switch over to the NFC North in the next set of videos. So until then, this is your man Dylan signing off about the New Orleans Saints, and I'll see you in the next video.